the sign at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, "This way to GlobalShop." And as we watch people headed that way, let me tell you about GlobalShop. It is the nation's largest annual store design and at-retail marketing show, bringing together retailers, brand marketers, and suppliers each year since 1993. Emerald Expositions is the one putting on this show. So let's take a look at GlobalShop 2016. The sign says, "First impressions make lasting impressions." This is an exhibit of SPC. This is a company that's headquartered in Michigan and is some 34 years old. And I was asking, well, what of all this is yours? All the display items come from SPC, and a customer can tell SPC what they need and have the components put together by the company, or they can simply order a lot of what he calls Lego products and put things together themselves. So here we have shelving and containers, etc. So I asked a gentleman here whether the fact that people are doing online retailing, has that affected their business? And he said, well, business has changed. And he said what a lot of retailers are doing now is using pop-up displays. And there's a sign here about that. Displays that can be taken to places like concerts and fairs, and smaller stores can be created for the moment. So I guess business is good at SPC. They are right here in the front of the exhibit hall, and although there are not a lot of people around yet, it's a very lovely display. This is probably not news to viewers, however, it's a little bit of news to me, and that is that LED lighting is the thing, and no more fluorescent lights on display shelves. LED lighting may last 8 years, may cost 6 times as much as fluorescent, but the payback is in the saving in terms of the use of electricity. So this is Madix, a company that makes the shelving and supplies the lighting, from Texas and Alabama, and they are here pushing LED shelving. I stopped in at HMG Sales Tobart and was asking about mannequins. The gentleman here said mannequins can get pretty creative and you can have them custom made, and I will see plenty of mannequins at this show. However, he pointed to this group and he said, "These are what we call the Brazilians." And I said, "Oh, why?" And he said, "Because they are curvy." And I said, well, great. I love the idea of curvy mannequins. Well, here's the digital store, which is similar to what we saw last week, except I didn't see anything exactly like this. A sign that goes over an arch, and I don't know the point of this, but it is very attractive. A wall in which you can pinpoint certain things. And here's a vertical sign meant to attract attention. And we're going up and all the way up. One thing I noticed last week, and I notice here, is the power of an eye in a big sign. And look here, they've got even small signs. Who doesn't like looking at lovely eyes? Not too many people on the show floor as I am here, but one group that is here is from Hong Kong, and they stopped me wanting to sell me some display racks, but sadly I am not a customer. Lots of display racks for sale here. If you have a huge collection of jewelry and you have a big ego, maybe you buy a display rack for your home, but otherwise you will see these in local stores. This is Display World Corporation. Another LED lighting system, although the gentleman here says somehow you can easily change the height of the shelves in this system. And here he is talking to a longtime customer friend. The man on the right, it turns out, is a writer. And in his spare time here, he was looking at some articles written about the outdoors, and he's to judge them as to which one is the best. So I ran into another writer here. This is Leading Edge Lighting, Inc. I don't always understand products I see at conventions, but I do understand these. These are casters. There's a whole bunch of them here. And I love the slogan, "We are always around." Durable, superior casters. That's the name of the company, right?
Yep.
And they are in Texas.
Yep.
And they make casters that are even bigger than what we're seeing here, that may cost as much as $1,000 each. These would be much less costly. In fact, they're so reasonably priced, I think everything should be on casters. And the gentleman who is manning this booth agrees completely. I had to ask is, where in the world did you get the name Outwater? Well, it was the name of a street in New Jersey where the company was first located. But I was interested here in what they call a fabric frame, and actually, in this case, it's a piece of vinyl, but it could be a combination of polyester and cotton, and they put lights behind it, and it just kind of clicks into a frame, and now we have a display. I was curious about this name, the Combination Door Company, and I was told that this company, which is in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, started out making doors where you would take the glass part out. You could take it out and insert screens. They still make that door, but they also make all of these other doors. And if you have a retail store, you probably need a door. Merchco Services got my attention because they were giving away M&Ms, but as I stopped and talked, the gentleman here mentioned that what they do is install store fixtures, and they install all the fixtures, for example, at Petco, a company I know well, and then he mentioned a bunch of other names. So I guess once you buy the fixtures and you want them installed, there are special things that have to be done, and you hire a company like Merchco Services, Inc. If I can pronounce this right, Shangshu, etc., Business Equipment Factory, and darned if we don't have shopping carts here. Well, of course stores need shopping carts, and folks like me need to use them. They come all the way from Shanghai. SL is a company located in Spain, and that explains the unusual shopping carts here. They don't look like the kind of carts I'm used to seeing. The gentleman here explained that in Europe, folks may shop more frequently, once a day or once every couple of days, and they don't buy those big loads of things that we buy in the United States. And the biggest shopping cart they make is this one. Now, this would probably work in a pet store because maybe you don't buy as much as you do at Costco. But anyway, here they are, a company headquartered in Spain, selling to the European market. Have you ever thought that you might work at a company that specializes in shelf edges? Well, Cost Clip does that. And here is a shelf, and here is an edge, and here is a now what
ticket
do you
molding.
Ticket molding, shelf edge.
Just a shelf edge ticket molding.
Okay, shelf edge ticket molding, and instead of prices being glued on a shelf, they can be put what, behind this?
In the ticket window, like such.
In the ticket window, and then other things can be clipped on
for marketing purposes.
This shelf edge for marketing purposes. So my goodness, the Shelf Edge Company, Cost Clip, and RP something, Innovative Shop Concepts, and they have a whole innovative concept right here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Attractive. And already the folks are walking in. behind the shelving is the name of this exhibit, Hoffman Manufacturing, and I stopped here because of this bike. And what I read here is that Trek Bicycle needed a way to rack their bikes that was solid but flexible and didn't distract from their product. Hoffman designed an effective system with Trek that could be changed out and set at incremented angles without tools. It looks sharp too. Okay, incremented, that's the word. Anyway, here's a picture of the store that they finally finished, and a gentleman here said they like it and they're going to order equipment for 10 more stores. A success story. And by the way, Hoffman manufactures all its products in Madison, Wisconsin, a U.S. manufacturer. Gondola movers worldwide, #1 tool for moving gondolas. We're looking at a movie, and they are moving huge racks in a store. And here are the samples of what they sell. And I noticed them moving this rack not long ago. So you don't have to be built like Arnold Schwarzenegger to move racks in retail stores. This is a display of the Shan Young Group, and they are talking here about interesting ways to display fruit and vegetables. And they said they have a holistic retail equipment network. Make your retail statement with plexiglass. Of course, a locking company would be here, because if you have a retail store, you need to lock it up tightly. And look at all their customers that we know about.
A large portion is retail.
Ken Stan is located in New York City, and they make their locks in New York, a U.S. manufacturer. I've run into a number of U.S. manufacturers at this show. The politicians should be thrilled. There are people in the way, so you really can't see this entire sign. I was curious about it. No, that's all right. I was curious about it because last week at the Digital Signage Expo, I used to look behind the signs to see all the equipment. And there wasn't a lot of equipment behind this sign.
No, this one is just a light box.
This is a light box. The entire sign is a light box. And the light behind it, though, shifts, and we have a nighttime scene and probably a daylight scene, early afternoon. It's a big long sign. The gentleman here said maybe it would cost, what, $70,000 or so, and you could make it as long as you want. Could cover the whole wall of your store, restaurant, whatever. A product of Super Color Digital. It is printed digitally, and it is a light box. This is Texas Basket Company, and by golly, they have baskets. Pop-up displays, and here we are. I think this is Prager Limited, and it's extremely colorful. Levy Industries, and the sign says Queue Management and Customer Flow Technologies. And I'm told by the young woman here that they do all kinds of management of the lines, and they said we're all over McCarran Airport and most of the casinos in Las Vegas to keep folks in line and calm about it. Their booth is all yellow, so it's hopefully a happy company. I shouldn't have had to ask what this sign means, because I have been in stores where one picks up a cell phone and you cannot walk away with it. And that's what happens here by Secure Controls. And now look what's going on over here. A free magic show.
Well, she wants to remind everybody that the ME alarm systems are a cost-effective way to protect merchandise and they're made by secure.
Okay, here are the skinny models. This is La Rosa, and I think, although there are lots of signs around here, and I guess you can get models in plastic, you can get them with fabric covers, you can get them in colors, and you can even get male and female models. La Rosa Mannequins, says a sign here, since 1922. That is a long time. More mannequins. This is Grenacher, Mannequins Forms Displays. And some of them don't even have lower extremities. Don't we all wish we were built like this? No makeup needed, no eyeliners, etc. I hope you can see these. These are very interesting looking models and clothing. Texture Plus also says made in our USA plant. So I guess these niche companies can afford to make products here. Some days, don't we all wish we had 6 arms? Well, here she is from Direct Source Packaging, and lots of products can be hung from her various arms. Need a carry-out bag for your store? This is Amron Packaging, and they've got lots of bags, lots of friendly people, they wave, and lots of choices. You have a hanger for your bikini? There is one, and it's here at Nahanco. If you don't know whether you should have black, white, or Hispanic models, how about a gray one? And there are plenty of them here. This is Patina V. This is Decrolite, and I've seen them at other trade shows. They are a commercial holiday decorating company. They've got lots of stuff here. They do Disney, they do a lot of other places a man mentioned and I've forgotten. But they are the decorators, and they're here with a very bright display. These are Lozier shelves, and they have lots of different shelves. And that reminds me that I'm going to put this show on the shelf for now. It's time to leave. I've had a very interesting time. The crowd has been perhaps less than some of the exhibitors expected, but it seems to be picking up later in the afternoon. At any rate, enjoyed GlobalShop, and now when I go into a store, I'm going to pay a lot more attention to the store fixtures.